Hello, everybody. Mary Grace here. I am the owner and CEO of Social Register Network, and I'm so glad you are tuning in today with our Biz Connect, which is one-on-one with Social Register members. These interviews really spotlight our members so you can get to know them, find out how you can connect with them, and also add them to your community. This is what it's all about, bringing the visibility to our members. So today I have Michael Plummer, who is the president, and he is also a realtor of the Michael Plummer Group, and you'll be able to get to know more about him and how he has used networking to really grow his business and get the visibility that he needs for his business. So I'm going to bring Michael right on and we will get to know him. All right, Michael, you're coming on. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm
Good to
good.
see
How
you
are
again.
you? You're so funny. So, Michael, today
Yes.
is all about you and your business. So, I want you to start off with obviously, I told them your name and you're a realtor and the name of your company, but I would love for them to really know where you're located, more about you and your business, and then how you got started in business.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, my name is Michael Plummer, and I have a residential real estate business here in Orange County, specifically South Orange County, Laguna Beach, Irvine, Mission Viejo
Mhm.
area. I started out here back in 2011, previously in Las Vegas, and I had my own independent brokerage, and I've merged within the last 2 years with a major international firm to give me a lot more bandwidth and capabilities that I haven't had available to me before. So yeah, in total, I've been doing it 25 years. Enjoy it, and yeah,
Oh, I love it. So tell us how you got started. Like, why real estate? Because I did meet you when you were in Las Vegas.
yes.
So tell us about that journey and how that got started.
Yeah, so it just kind of happened. My wife was in the business before I was. I was in automotive related businesses. I was working for a manufacturer as a outside rep, and my wife was actually in the field of escrow. She had previously done mortgage, and my
Mhm,
father-in-law, her dad, owned a real estate brokerage in Las Vegas. So for fun, I figured I'll just get my license and
mhm.
hang it with my father-in-law and fool around on the weekends and see where it goes. And you know, there is no such thing as coincidence. But as soon as I obtained my license, I was laid off from my job. They were purchased by a public company, and they laid
Wow.
off a lot of people, and I had to make a decision. So luckily for that, I dove in and just did real estate full time, and haven't looked back.
Oh, that's awesome. So how long have you been doing it? How many years?
98 was when I got licensed, so going
Wow.
on my 25th year coming up.
So you are a true expert. Yeah, you're a true expert because, when people talk about entrepreneurship, real estate is probably like one of the top things that people talk about trying or getting into or getting licensed.
Mhm.
And just to know that you are seasoned in it. This is truly a passion of yours because you've been doing it for so long. But like, why do you do it? What are you most passionate about being a realtor, especially in for doing it for that long?
I it's a fascinating industry, right? And there's so many sides to real estate, right? My focus is primarily on residential real estate.
Mhm.
And I've got to work with a lot of different types of clients, your typical home sellers and home buyers, also a lot of investors, right? And working alongside investors was very educational for my growth, and it allowed me to learn how to do a lot of real estate investing and things of that nature. But it is a very rewarding business. It does come with challenges, but I like good challenges, right? And just making the possibility of home ownership is a very fulfilling, rewarding experience for me.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I really have fun most every day doing
Yeah,
what I do.
that's great. I know when you think about real estate, it's usually one of our first investments, right? Like for ourselves and for our family.
Mhm.
So that's a beautiful gift to be able to
Yeah.
help someone on that journey find their first home, or get their first investment in quotation, because a lot of people, so for me, I see homes as investments. A lot of people
Right.
look at them as their forever home, a place for their family, and it's different for everybody.
Well,
um
that's where most people can grow their wealth, you
yes.
know?
Hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, home ownership builds a lot of wealth. It has a lot of advantages, and so yes, it truly is an investment, whether you look at that way or not.
Yeah. And so I know you moved from Vegas a
Mhm.
couple years ago. I would say what, 8, 10 years ago?
2011.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so 11 years ago.
Yeah, so
um
2011, I came out first,
yeah.
right? And tried to get something happening here. And then I brought the family out 2 years later, 2013.
Oh
My wife
wow.
said, dude, either we're going back with you this next time, or we're going to have to put plans on pause, because I have, as you know, a lot of kids. I have 6 kids. We had, let's see, 4 at home and 1 on the way, when
Oh
my wife
wow.
was out in Vegas and I was out
Yeah.
here networking and,
Mhm.
running on the beach and posting all these wonderful things
Wow,
while
having an
she's taking
amazing
care of
time.
the kids. Yeah.
So why did you guys choose OC?
So originally, I'm from Southern California, Palm Springs.
Mhm.
Lived in
Okay.
Las Vegas most of my life. My wife's from Huntington Beach. Same story. She moved with her family when she was young. We have a lot of family ties here in Orange County. We enjoy visiting Orange County. We enjoy going to the beach.
Mhm.
And we wanted to figure out a way that we can make it work out here.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a plan that we put into effect years before we actually made it happen.
Yeah. So I know, we're obviously in Orange County now, and it's a
Mhm.
beautiful community.
Finally.
Yes, beautiful community. I feel like every time and I'm sure you felt this way when you were traveling back and forth, it's like a mini vacation. I'm like going on a mini vacation slash business, because of the beach and the beautiful weather and obviously the people. And it just feels good to be able to bridge the gap between Vegas and Orange County. So what have you experienced with that? Obviously being someone who physically moved there, but also like having social register there now too.
So, as I told you guys way, way back when, a
Mhm.
long time ago, I thought your style of networking or a group would be a perfect fit for this area. And after
Mhm.
spending some time out here and looking for something that seemed to be a good fit for what I wanted to do and people I wanted to connect with and do things with, there just wasn't that. Um, that category that you have, right?
Mhm.
If you want to call it that. And I mean, based on results, the short time that you've had a presence out here, it seemed to have taken really, really well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really good fit, and it's a great group of people. And when I do attend the events, I just have a great time and always leave with something good.
Yeah. We have a good time. We have a good time at
Yeah.
our OC events. When we talk about networking, because obviously you're a realtor,
Mhm.
how has networking really played a role in your visibility and your marketing and just overall getting the word out about who you are and what you do?
Well, I think it's, huge, if not the largest part of my business. It has been all along. When
Mhm.
I started in 1998, there wasn't a lot of options available to get the word out. There certainly wasn't internet or social media and those kind of tools. And I didn't have a big advertising budget, to do billboards, yellow pages,
Mhm. Oh my
magazines,
gosh, Yellow Pages.
newspapers. I mean, that was bus stops, billboard, that was it. And that just wasn't in the reality of what I can do. So it
Mhm.
was all about go out and make friends and establish relationships, because there's a lot of people that do real estate. People don't
Mhm.
hire real estate companies. They hire people, and they
Mhm.
work with people that they like. If they don't like you, they're not going to work with you. So I think, it's important to have these relationships. And, looking back on all the years, the majority of the business that I do comes from personal relationships, either past clients, sphere of influence, etc. So, I think networking is probably the single most important thing you can do in most, relationship based businesses, especially real estate.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit it right on the nail because a lot of people think like networking is just to go out there and find their next client, but it's actually building the relationships and creating, fostering those relationships that may not end up in something now, but other opportunities or
Mhm.
future relationships. Because especially in real estate, like people are not just buying houses left and right,
Yeah.
like, right, it's usually the timing or they want to make that an investment or they know of somebody who wants to purchase a home. And so make building that relationship is super
And
important in
y
your
and
industry.
you know what? Um, going to, we'll call them networking events and these
Mhm.
gatherings where we get to meet other people, I don't go in with any expectation of anything or any plan of anything because when I do, it usually works out much better than I ever anticipated. And I had made some wonderful connections with people that I would have never imagined I'd have, the opportunity to meet. So,
I love that because that's one of the things that I tell everybody is like you have to go to any networking event. It doesn't have to be ours. Just go there without expectation and going there to find out who other people are, you could be a resource to them, who you can connect them with. That's really where everything starts unraveling for you, whether it be
right. And you
opportunities.
just brought up another point too that's really
Mhm.
important. It's about giving, right? It's about contribution, right? A lot of networking events that I've attended in the past seem to be a lot of people just to take, 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 take. You know, when I go out and talk to people, it's how can I support you in what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And it's just a whole different dynamic that brings such incredible, returns from just giving and contributing and pouring into others.
Well, you've truly mastered that because as someone who's been a realtor since 1998, I know that you're building relationships and you're networking the right way. Firsthand, it's because a couple years ago you reached out to us and you were like, "Oh my gosh, I think there would be a great need for you guys out here in OC." And you were just connecting the dots and really thinking of resources for other people, but thinking of another way for us to expand out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you're always thinking of how to connect other people, and I love that. Um, so I know briefly, and I know we're short on time, so
Mhm.
I do want to touch on the pieces of things that maybe you have coming up because I know briefly you shared in a previous like a meeting that we had, a mastermind, that you had some things that you were working on. Do you want to share that today, and also how people can get in contact with you?
Yeah. So do you remember which thing I shared with you I was working on? Because I seem to have a lot of projects going on.
I think it
So
was a course or like being able to help other
So
people.
yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
doing a lot of mentoring now. Like I
Yeah.
told you, I plugged in
Mhm.
or I merged with a large organization. It's called EXP Realty. And we're a
Mhm.
publicly traded firm. We're all over North America in 22 or 25 different countries. I can't keep up. We're growing like crazy.
Mhm.
And I became one of the certified mentors that, works with the newer agents that come into the business and help them out. And, I think I shared with you my 23-year-old son recently
Yep.
joined the business as well. So I'm working with a lot of younger or newer agents, and
Mhm.
from my broker experience in the past, I really enjoy the mentoring and the coaching aspect, and I kind of want to grow that on a larger scale.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's the piece
Mhm.
I was talking about that you mentioned in one of
Okay.
our masterminds because I love the mentoring. I love that, you've been doing it. I feel like we've been doing things for so long and it's our time to give back and, mentor other people, especially the young professionals. So I love that your son is like getting into that business too.
Yes. Yeah.
I love it. So he's doing it in the OC too.
He is, yeah. So
Yeah.
he moved out on his own a little over a year ago. So in Orange County, it's not a huge county, as you know, but we kind of break it up into South OC and North OC. So I'm South OC, right?
Mhm.
So you basically, if you're looking at Orange County, Irvine is about in the middle. You go south down to the San Diego border. That's
Yeah.
kind of my area of expertise. My son lives up in Costa Mesa, which is adjacent to Newport and Huntington Beach, and that's kind of the area that he's focusing on and building his brand, which
Oh,
is really
okay.
good because now we have better coverage while he's, growing his business and his brand and his name out there. I'm doing the South OC. So the
Ooh, I
plumbers will
love it.
cover all of
Yeah.
Orange County here
The
eventually.
plumbers are going to take over Orange County. I love it. So I always like to end our interview by asking a question about entrepreneurship. So, what kind of advice can you give a new entrepreneur or someone who maybe, if you want, you could give advice about real estate if you'd like, or something in general for a new entrepreneur? What is some advice that you
You
can
know,
give?
like I touched on before, this is just something in general that, I've learned, and I think it was, I can't think of who it was, but they said, in order to get what you want out of life, help other people what it is that they want out of life, or something to that effect. And it's not the exact quote, but that's the meaning of it, right? It's like, give to others, be of contribution, be of service, be supportive, and that's the best advice I can give in any type of relationships, and especially when it comes to relationship based business like real estate.
Yes, 100%. I love that. That speaks to my heart because that's something I always say. It's like, give before you receive. We have to
Yeah.
really go into anything that we do without expectation
I
and just
think it was Zig Ziglar, but don't quote me on that. That was
we're gonna have
Zig
to look it
Ziglar.
up.
Yeah,
We can't quote him on here because we don't know for sure if that's him. We'll
right,
look it
right.
up. Oh, I love it. All right. So, Michael, tell everybody how they can get in contact with you, whether they're in Vegas or wherever you are, part of the world, they can get in contact with you, whether you want to give their
So
social.
yeah, it's funny. I am still connected to Las Vegas. I'm physically here.
Uh-huh.
I still have a very active broker's license out there in Nevada that I'm not going to let go. It's vintage, right? It's a
Yeah.
collector's item. So yeah, and someday I might expand and be more hands-on, but I do have a large network, of course, from all the years practicing real estate out there in Las Vegas as well. So I mean, if there's any reason you want to talk about real estate or anything in general, feel free to reach out to me. My direct cell phone is area code 949-478-1660. And you can find me on the web at MPG, Michael Plummer Group, mpghomesoc.com.
Perfect. We will put that in the description so they'll have your website and everything as well. Well,
Wonderful.
thank you. Thank you so much
Thank you
for
for
coming
including me.
on Biz
Absolutely.
Connect, sharing more about you, sharing some insight on networking and entrepreneurship, but also how they can connect with you because you're in the OC, but you're obviously still in Las Vegas some way or another. And so people can reach out to you, especially for the mentorship. I think that would be really neat if they can reach out to you, see how they can get involved with eXp Realty and come under your wing. I think that's really neat.
That would be great. It
All
was good
right.
seeing you.
Is good seeing you too. Thank you
All right.
everybody for watching and we will catch you guys later. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.